Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my nightmare.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Come and play with us, Daddy.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Fear Freaks Podcast. I'm Braden.
I'm Destiny.
And we are the Fear Freaks. I hope that you guys are having an outstanding week so far. Thank you guys to all of our live viewers for tuning into us live. And if you guys miss us live, make sure you guys catch us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Or if you guys are watching us in the future, hey, welcome. Glad to have you here. Thanks for spending an hour of your day with us. We know that there's a lot of different shows out there that you guys can pick and choose from, but we appreciate you clicking in on us. Tonight, we're talking about It Chapter 2. We talked about It Chapter 1 a couple weeks ago. Now, this week, we are watching, or not watching, but we're talking about It Chapter 2. And I have to admit that I have had zero time to watch it. I did see it this year, though. I've watched it this year, so I'm familiar with it. I read the book. I see Destiny rolling her eyes at me because she watched it last week in preparation for this. But Destiny, how you doing this week?
Great.
Great.
No, just here. It's Wednesday.
It is middle of the week, I think that's why we like doing shows on Wednesday. It's the middle of the week, we get what is your favorite days to do shows if we're going to do shows? Because we've done shows on every day of the week. We've done Monday, Tuesday. What's your favorite day, would you say, to do a show?
Honestly, it's a good question. Preferably Wednesdays aren't my favorite because Thursdays are the hardest days for me at work.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to put up truck. The big truck.
What are those friggin' muscles?
Yeah,
the flex right there was
so
just
awesome.
Hard.
I can barely flex. But, I don't know. Maybe I hate Tuesdays because I just hate Tuesdays in general. I hate Mondays because it's a Monday. Maybe Thursdays. Maybe Friday. Not Friday because I'm usually busy.
Okay, so then there's obviously it's a good thing that we do Wednesday. So,
Yeah, I guess.
So you're like, now that I think about it, I guess Wednesday's an okay day because it's the only day I'm available to do Fear Freaks.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah, hey, but glad that, we have you here as our co-host, so.
I'm happy to be here. I don't want to sound like I don't want to be here. I do.
That's Destiny's way of just being like, oh, gosh, here we fucking go again. We've got great people here in the chat, though. Speaking of our chat, Lamontre, I see you in here. Thank you so much. I love this. You guys are the most awesome people in the world. Love you. And we love you. We love you a lot. Atanis, what's going on? Welcome in to tonight's stream. So Brandon actually has a question right off the bat. He's saying, which It do you like more, Chapter 1 or Chapter 2?
Chapter 1. Chapter
1, same. I definitely like Chapter 1 a lot more than I do 2. Good Real, what's going on? Good to have you in here. Let's see here. Brandon says that he's actually a Chapter 2 fanatic. So, but I get it. It's a good movie, okay? And we're going to talk about the ins, the outs, what makes it good, what makes it, kind of like a mixed bag for some people. We're going to get into all that here tonight once we get through everyone. Shaheem, what is up? Welcome into the stream. Denise, I would love a balloon, Denise. Thank you so much for the offer. I will take a sparkling red balloon, please. I will take sparkling one for sure. Ashton, welcome. Aaron Click, and everybody else that is in here. We've got Moser. We got a great audience in here already tonight. Thank you guys so much all for being here. We appreciate you guys a lot. And if you guys are new viewers, welcome in. We always love the new peeps. Get used to us. We're gonna be a little wild throughout the show. It always happens. So I just mean random topic sometimes comes up and we go way off the rails, and that's the type of show that people sign up for here once they decide to join this podcast and join this channel. So
yeah, I know some people hate that. I see not people complain about us, just in general. When podcasts do that, I'm like, oh, we do that a lot.
We
that a
do.
lot.
Like, I mean, but sometimes shit, just comes up and we want to talk about something, So, but speaking of which, what Destiny is in your world of horror for this week? What's up?
So this week, I watched a couple movies.
Okay.
A few movies. What did I watch? Today I watched The Rental. Have you seen it?
I have not.
It has Lip from Shameless in
Okay.
it. It's directed by Dave Franco. It was okay. It wasn't anything like too crazy, and there's like a really good movie to compare it to, but I won't do that because I feel like it's like a spoiler. But it's on Netflix. It's like an hour 28 minutes, and it was good. It wasn't anything that I haven't necessarily seen before, but it was pretty good. I didn't like waste my time. Yesterday I watched Overlord for the first time. Have you seen that one?
I did see that on your story. I saw that you watched it. That's produced by J.J. Abrams, I think.
Yeah.
I have not seen that yet. Isn't it like a zombie one though? It's like one of those like zombie movies. Is it good?
It was really good. So listen, I don't like war movies, and I don't really like. It's like I wouldn't necessarily just say it's like zombie. I would say like 28 Days Later, how it's more of like an infection.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. They're not like eating people. It's nothing like that. But I would say it's more of like an infected sort of thing. But it's a war movie set during World War II, and they get there, and they're making zombies basically as like weapons. But I liked it a lot more than I thought I would because those are not my genres whatsoever. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It had Joseph Quinn in it for about 4 seconds.
That's in Overlord?
He's in Overlord.
Is he?
For 4 seconds in the opening. And I was like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
But I watched the rest of the movie, and it was like an hour, 40-something minute movie. But it was pretty good. Actually, I recommend that one a lot. What else did I watch? There's something else I watched, and it was a horror movie. Fuck. I don't know. I watched Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead for the first time. Not horror, but
I haven't seen that either. So
as Daniel Harris and Christina Applegate. It was really good. 90s. I know I watched something else and I can't fucking remember. So, Glorious. It's on Shudder. It's a short movie. It's like an hour, 18 minutes. It's like, what do you call it? Like a cosmic sort of horror. It's like, I haven't seen Color from Outer Space, but it reminds me of that. Like the color palette's really the same. It's like pink and purple and cosmic shit going on. It was good. I gave it a 3 out of 5 as well. So,
Very nice.
But that's it. That's all I watched.
Hey, cool. That's still some list.
Wait. Sorry.
Something big, guys.
This
better be good. This better be.
Is.
Oh, wait. Is this what I think it? Oh is. Boy, here it comes.
So, really, you want a ding?
Sorry.
Anyways, Prez interrupted. I got this in the mail, and I got it Thursday. So I was like, "Fuck!" The day after we do our show, it comes in. But here it is. It looks like he wrote Destiny. Whatever. That's cool. And it's a signature. And it's pretty cool. There's a line in the picture, which kind of makes me upset. Like, it's hard to see, but I'm like, really? I'm expecting great quality, Joseph Quinn. And you wrote Destiny, and there's a line in your face. But, whatever. I'm happy to have it. It's one of my favorite things that I own now. I'm going to put in a different frame. This is just what I had, and I can't let anything happen to this. So, yeah. And it sits in my living room so everyone can see, because I'm very happy to have this.
That's awesome.
It was...
I remember you literally texted me as soon as you got that. So,
I got home, and because it wasn't supposed to be here until... It was supposed to be here yesterday, actually. And so I got home, and it was in the envelope, and it was like, do not bend, please do not bend. And I was like, oh my God. I think this is it. And I opened it up, and it was, and I freaked out. And it also came with this little certificate of authenticity. Wow. Authenticity.
Yes, you're saying it correctly. Turn it this way. Authenticity. Authenticity. You got it. Come on now.
Authenticity.
Okay, you know what? Okay.
Just go on.
Authenticity. You got to sound it out. It's okay.
But that isn't authenticity. Authenticity.
Yes, you got it.
I was having a stroke.
Yeah, you were. It's okay. It happens to everybody. But wow, that was pretty bad. Okay, before stand down, I'm gonna be like stand down. So before I get into mine, Brock has a super chat here. $25. Thank you so much, Brock. Hey, pleasure, geeks and fear freaks. I like that actually.
That's cute.
Showing support / love to be in the channel. Didn't see this movie, so I might bounce soon, but I'll try to come hang when it's a chill session night. Y'all know I love when y'all give me attention. Well, hey, thanks so much, Brock. And hey, the super chats that allows us to show that, you come up, you're highlighted. So, you get your attention for sure.
Yeah, you love the attention. So do we.
So do we.
Thank
We
you,
appreciate you.
And
Around Heather, what's going on? Saw Heather's in the chat. What's going on? Goodreal says $1.99. Good Lord, Destiny. That's my job to butcher words.
It was bad too, and it's on fucking camera. But yeah, Pestiny, you can call me that. And it's like, of course, because like pest. And I'm like, you don't. So if I ever meet him again, I'm gonna be like watching him like a hawk. Like, please don't put another P. I can't handle it.
Matt Fauci, what is going on, buddy? How you doing? I'm doing good. Destiny, how you doing? Tell Fauci how you're doing.
I don't know. I'm in a weird mood. I'm like, like really jittery.
What the fuck was that? Like, I'm like,
like last week. Was it last week? I had like no energy. This right now, I have all the energy I've probably had all day.
Which is funny because last week was like a chill session. Normally you should have normally you've got energy like during chill nights because we what do you call it? We don't fucking talk about anything. We just bullshit and can talk about whatever. But like okay, so we can get into our topic here for the night. My world of horror watched Halloween with Abby for the first time. Well, I didn't watch it with she watched it for the first time. Obviously, right? Like that should be a big obvious to anybody. I don't even know why I took the time to explain that. But Abby watched it for the first time. She didn't really like it. She is a very big worrywart and a very big non-horror fan. And she didn't like it. She actually got scared. She was actually terrified because how Michael Myers stalks people from a distance and how he looks at people and follows people. And now she's just paranoid all the time. And she's actually debating right now if she wants to watch Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills before Halloween ends. She literally actually texted me today. She's like, Braden, I'm so paranoid right now. I might just have to see Halloween Ends. Because she's like, I was like, you know what? You did good with the original Halloween. You made it through. She had to close her eyes during some scenes. When she, if I told her that Michael Myers was up and coming or whatever. Yeah. Oh my God. Fucking dings. How do I stop that?
Mute it or mute your conversation.
I don't know how to do that, but whatever. That was her texting me, so I can see. But yeah, what do you call it? I think that's how she might have to go on and do that. I might just have to summarize to her. I might have to do the Spark Notes version of her what happens in Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, so she could just go into ends and But which is funny because this past weekend she bought at Spirit. She bought a Michael Myers shirt. She's wearing it to Halloween Ends and everything. She bought it to support it. So I'm like, now you got to freaking finish it. You own a piece of Halloween property. So you have to try and do it. But yeah, she doesn't she's going to hate the opening of Scream. She won't even make it through the opening of Scream. I promise you that.
No.
Yeah, she's going to see the woman at home alone and getting those phone calls. And because the opening is intense of Scream. And then it kind of becomes satirical. But the opening, it's a very strong. Yeah, she's going to hate that. So I'm just not even going to tell her what it is.
just be like, I don't know.
I don't really know.
This one before.
But yeah, then I just did some Halloween shopping. Didn't really watch too many movies this past weekend. I know this weekend I'm seeing Pearl, so that's going to be on this weekend. I do really want to see Barbarian. I've heard fucking fantastic things about that. That's definitely on my list of stuff to do. But yeah, like other than watching Halloween, just like getting ready for the Halloween season, just Halloween shopping. And I just bought Abby a Oogie Boogie candy. I sent you that. It's a really cool candy jar or candy holder. So it's fucking selling out at like every Target across the nation. It was only at one in the state of Arizona. Like, I'm like, that's insane. So yeah, just again getting ready for the Halloween season. That's basically all that's going on my end. Let's get into It Chapter 2. So Destiny, what do you think? What do you think of It Chapter 2?
I still love It Chapter 2. I think it does have its issues. And I wouldn't say it was a letdown for me, like, at all, because I love the first It movie. I mean, I said that multiple times during our stream. But my love for that movie definitely, like, I don't know, like, leaks into this movie. This movie could have been awful, but I would have still probably loved it because it's continuing the story from the movie I love so much already. So I was really excited for this movie. I was there. I saw it in theaters. I had to see this one in theaters to kind of, finish out it. And I walked out sobbing. I was crying extremely hard during this movie. But I love it. I think it does have its issues. It's really fucking long. It is really long, and it's going to be hard to talk about a lot of the movie tonight to cram it. But, it's a long movie, but I think it's really casted well. It's funny, I think, when it should be, besides maybe a couple moments. It's unnecessary humor. But it's funny when it should be. It has a lot of heart still, and it still feels like an It movie for me. Like, this movie compared to the first one doesn't feel like completely different. They still have the same feeling there. So I love It Chapter 2. Not as much as the first one, but I give this like a 4 out of 5, and I give it like a 4.75 out of 5. So
yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you said everything right. I really enjoy It Chapter 2. I mean, I just don't like it as much as the first one, mostly because the movie is very long. I mean, it's like part 1 was like 2 hours and 10 minutes or so. This is like an additional 35 minutes. It clocks in at like 2 hours and 45 minutes, which is like, so it's almost 3 hours. Like, it is a long movie. The problem I have with It Chapter 2 is it feels long. Like, it feels like there are like almost like certain things like where it's like the shot will fade out, like especially towards the end, and you think it's over, but then something will fade back in, and you're just like, oh well, fuck, because it's like it was like the music is somber, it's like fading out, it's a good close, and then it's like and something else pops back on screen, and you're like, well, shit, okay, so we're still in this. So, and then the flashbacks, they do feel very repetitive because that's why part 1 existed, right? Was because they wanted to showcase the kid's perspective. Because in the novel, It Chapter 2 is very much more like the novel because it goes back and forth between, adult life to kid life. But that's why It Chapter 1 existed. To change that so that way it's like you can watch this and understand exactly, what the kids are afraid of, why they're afraid of, like, this thing. And then Pennywise, like, this entity is disguising itself as a clown to lure these kids in, or trying to lure these kids in, right? But Chapter 2, it shows them as adults. Like, it picks up in the beginning with them as adults, and then they now have to go, like, then there's like flashbacks and shit, and it just pretty much shows the exact same thing over again. You know what I mean? Because it shows them encounter Pennywise once again, like, as kids and stuff. So it just felt very repetitive.
Yeah, I would say one of my issues with this movie is the pacing. Because like like I said, like I haven't finished the book. I've tried a few times, and I want to try. I want to read this whole book at some point of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I had read the first like 150, maybe 100, something like that pages. Like you said, it's very much like it keeps bouncing, and you have to like keep like you. And my thing is, my attention span, it's not that great. And this is something you have to pay attention to, or else you'll be confused about like what perspective it is. In this movie, we're seeing a lot of the perspectives because like almost every character gets a flashback to another memory they had as a kid, and so it's kind of like you're just like checking off the boxes, you know. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Bev, this is what happened. Ben, this is what happened, and it just keeps doing that until they get their like token for the end. But I would say the pacing, it does feel a little bit long. This isn't one that, like, if I have to choose between a chapter 1 and chapter 2 to watch, I'm definitely picking the first one. Either the first one is also kind of longer. It flies right by. There's so much stuff that happens, but it flies by. And this movie is really packed with a lot of things, and some of them maybe aren't needed in the movie. Maybe some things go on a little bit too long. But, this movie, which I'm sure they knew going in, like, it's not easy. Even from the miniseries, like, the story isn't easy to tell because it's such a huge book and it's so much story to pack into 4.5, really, 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But it could go on for longer because that's how much stuff is included. And so, I think they did a good job, a great job for what they really needed to do for the movie with how much story there really is. So I think they still did a great job. It's just, it does feel a little bit long, but in the theater, I didn't care. I could have watched it again in the theater, like back to back. I didn't care. I was just happy to see these characters again because, like I mentioned in our first episode, watching it and then one day it hit me. I was like, damn, we're not going to see them as kids again because, like, that's not what the story is.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't even think about, we'll get flashbacks. And so once the movie starts off with a flashback or, like, what was happening when they're kids after, they defeat Pennywise, my heart was so happy just to see them, even though, like, the digital, like, de-aging doesn't look the best in this movie. No. I think Finn Wolfhard is, I think, the worst with the digital, like, the aging, because it just looks kind of wonky. But, being that age, you grow up super fucking fast, like, all of a sudden. So I get why they had to do it. It just looks a little bit weird. And that's another issue I have with this movie is the CGI. Like we said in our first episode, the CGI, I think, is worse in this movie. And that's unfortunate because I wish that monsters were practical. I'm sure the leper is because he was in 2017, but still, the old lady with her titties flying around looks awful.
Yeah.
That looks so fucking bad. There's a lot of moments in this that just look bad, and I wish they would have went practical or, I don't know, worked on it a little bit more because it just looks so silly for a horror movie. Like, it doesn't fit in a horror movie because it's not scary, in my opinion, whatsoever. But, that's just me. I just wish the CGI wasn't so bad, and I wish the pacing was a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, and I mean that's a completely, I'd say, fair analysis of, from what a fan might want, right? Because it's like the movie is so good, right? And it's like the story is like it's there. And I mean, obviously, like the main body of the story with the adults, like, I mean, they're all still heavily affected when it all comes back to them as to what they're able to remember. Because one of the most integral lines that Mike says in this movie, and this is even the opening line of the trailer, is the further away from this town, the easier it all gets to forget about what happened. Because, like, nobody was able to remember. Because Mike, he's like, he never left. He has stayed in Derry his entire life. Everybody else has spread out and, gone on and done really great things. And, we get to see, and I love that aspect of the movie. I love that we get to see what these characters are up to, the lives that they're living. Like, we see that Beverly is still around abusive men. She was with, like, her dad in the first movie, And then we see in this movie, when we get introduced to her again, that she's in an abusive relationship. And I just like to see where everybody is at. And it really does fit, their personalities and like everything, right? So like when it comes down to that, like I absolutely do really I love the main story of this movie. But then it's like and everything with Pennywise is great. All of his, like, you can tell that they definitely worked on his effects the most to make sure that he looked good. But yeah, the creatures, I agree. I think that the CGI and everything could have been a lot stronger when they were showcasing different entities of what Pennywise was trying to become, to try and, scare these kids or lure them in and all that, So I definitely agree right there. But yeah, like you said, the casting is absolutely amazing. And again, I just am a huge fan as to like seeing where all of these kids grew up to be and everything. And the opening of the movie, I'd say, is relatively strong. Like, like we see this kid, they're at, like, this is like a gay couple, they're at a carnival in Derry, and it's like you see the carnival and you're like, oh well, here it comes. And I mean, the opening it's pretty intense.
The opening is fucking brutal, and I remember which this is like in like the beginning of the book, so I read this part in the book and I was like, oh my god, like I forgot like this. And so I'm like watching it, I was like, oh my god, I fucking never wanted, like, if I could get that little boy, I would punch that boy in the face. Just the character, not the actor. I don't know anything about the actor, but that boy, I would knock him out, first of all, because I hate him. All of those men, I fucking hate them. And it's so sad to see them fucking, because like they're not only just like, they beat the shit out of them, first of all, beat the fucking shit out of them, then throw him over the bridge into the water. So like he could have drowned because I'm sure he has head trauma from being beaten. And then, he's in the water and his like boyfriend goes down there to go save him. And then he's like, help, help. And what, fucking Pennywise. And then he's eating them and his boyfriend sees that. But the balloons and everything, it's great. And the visual of like Pennywise like attacking them, that looks good because you don't get to fully see it. It's kind of like all like weird. But I think the opening is really strong. It's hard to watch. It's intense. But you get like right into it pretty much immediately. You get your first little flashback, and then it's this. And then it's like, boom, you're in this. And like it looks like Derry. The color palette looks like the first one, which I love because I feel like it just has this sort of vibe to it. And I feel like it carries over into this. And especially in that opening, you're right back in Derry. Unfortunately, they're shitty people, and you're in modern times. So that's kind of cool. I liked, that it was set in the 80s, and then it's like modern, and opposed to like the 50s. Because I'm glad that's something that they changed. I don't think we talked about that in the first episode, but I'm glad they kind of changed it. I'm glad they moved it because like the 80s, Stranger Things obviously really helped with the 80s shit. So.
Yeah, and that's also like why I felt like, and I said that during the first like when we talked about It Chapter 1, is that these kids just feel like they're almost a part of like Stranger Things because it takes place in the 80s. And yeah, now It Chapter 2, even though the book it takes place in earlier times, it's like It Chapter 2 for us, I thought that it was a good creative choice to have it take place like, okay, now this is 27 years later, it's modern day. Like we can relate to the technology, it makes the audience living in today's world relate to these characters more than if like this took place in like, like say it was like 1995 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So you're able to at least update that. So I do really agree to that aspect also. And speaking of the color palette, like, I mean, I really do hope that the aesthetic of It Chapter 1 and 2 is still very much present in the Welcome to Derry series that they have up and coming for HBO Max. Now, whether or not that's still going to happen or not, I have absolutely no idea, only because of everything that's been going on with like Warner Media and the Discovery merge. Like they're canceling some projects and continuing on with other projects. So I don't really know if that's still going to be a thing. As of right now, it's still on IMDb. It still says it's in development. I do think that Andy Muschietti and Barbara Muschietti, I think that they should be able to go on and do this, because why wouldn't they? I mean, both of these movies proved to be very successful at the box office, and now we get a whole series on just Pennywise, like the prequel to him and everything. I'm down, and Bill Skarsgård is coming back, and I mean, I just think that I think it would be stupid to not move forward with that. But I do hope that if that does, move forward and everything, I hope that the vibe and the color and all that stuff is very much there. I trust Andy Muschietti. I think that he's a great filmmaker. Speaking of which, the direction of It Chapter 2, I have zero issues with. I think the camera angles are awesome. I think the shots are all very much there. Felt like an It movie, like the first one, I should say. So, yeah, had absolutely little to no issues with that. Destiny, who was your favorite out of the... Now, I know that you might have like a favorite kid. Like, did you have a favorite kid from It Chapter 1? And did that differ in It Chapter 2, like as like an adult?
No, Richie. Richie was my favorite in It Chapter 1, and he's still my favorite. Also, when we did our first episode, I showed off all my Funko Pops.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple little more figures I want to show because I forgot I had them. And they're these little... I have a little Pennywise with a knife.
Aw.
Henry, also with a knife. And then I have Pennywise doing this little weird pose. I have Zombie Georgie, this little
Very
boat.
nice.
I have the skateboard kid. And then this is my favorite one. I have Pennywise with all the balloons.
Oh, that's awesome. I do like that one a lot.
I was really happy because this one is obviously very different from this, because I would go to Walmart and people would open them, And so, like, one day I felt it and I was like, oh my God, I know this is the balloons because there's no way, because, like, look at that. And obviously it was. And I was really happy because this is the one I wanted the most. And this thing is it's kind of heavy for a little figure. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted to show those. So who was your favorite in the first movie?
I gotta say, I was a big Eddie fan in the first movie. I just love Eddie. I think that he's just a great character. I also like how he was. I mean, Richie was definitely the comic relief. Like, he was like the comic relief. I think I said release, the comic relief. But I think Eddie also had very good comical moments, and I thought that his comedy was like at the right time.
Yeah.
Like Richie, like, to me, like, I mean, and he played his character very well. I mean, it's freaking Finn Wolfhard. Like, I mean, like, he was absolutely great. But like every single scene that he was in, like, it's like, even like when they were all trying to be serious and talking about something, it's like he would, like, be like circling like around them, and he would be like, wait, can only virgins see this? Is that why I can't see this shit? And like Eddie, it's like, yeah, he had really good comedic timing, but when it was time to be serious, I really liked how Eddie was able to kind of like take shit, very seriously. Now, that also is because of his home life. He has a very overprotective mother. And if God forbid anything happens to him, like, even when he broke his arm in the first movie, like, he knew it was fucking over with. Like, I mean, yeah. So even like when like his mom came over and was like, all of you, like, she was like yelling at him and everything. So yeah, like that just and I think that in this movie, I do love Eddie, but I will say that it did transition into Richie being my favorite as an adult, mostly because I also love that he has gone on and became a stand-up comedian. But right before he's getting ready to go out and do the show, it's like he gets that phone call, and then he like comes out and he throws up, and then he has an awful show, and that pushes him to have to go back to Derry to settle this thing, And I love the reunion scene. I love the scene, like when they all meet at the restaurant. It's a great reunion. Then they go through that awful experience, like Pennywise is back and he's in their head, and all the food starts coming to life and shit, and they're just beating the shit out of the table. But then Richie also has like that young boy that like comes up, and then like he like starts like shaking him, And then he's like, what are you talking? Like, I'm a fan. It's part of your stand-up.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, well, do you want an autograph or something? Like, he's like, no.
Thanks. Like, are those your parents?
Yeah.
He's
Those
just
are your
freaking the fuck out on this kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
I will agree. Like, Richie and Eddie are my favorites from the first movie. And I will agree, like, Richie intentionally is funny. Like, he's trying to be funny. I feel like when Eddie has his funny moments, he's not trying to be funny. Like, the whole, their gazebo's mom, their bullshit, that scene, I lost it during that scene. That is so fucking funny. I think Eddie gets some good moments later in the house with Henry. I was laughing my ass off. I was also really worried because I was like, what the fuck? But it's pretty fucking hilarious. But
Yeah.
I think Bill Hader, he does such a great job. And I was like, Bill Hader and like this, like that's kind of cool because I didn't really see him anything play like something serious, I guess. And even though he's still funny in this movie, it's also, you know, serious. And I thought he did a great job. He is, anytime he's on screen, I'm looking at him because he, for me, just steals the show.
Yeah.
I thought he was wonderful. I wish he would have got some sort of like acknowledgement for it.
Yeah.
The ending breaks my heart, and it's, you know, his performance that breaks my heart. So I'm upset he didn't get, you know, anything. Am I surprised? No, but I think he did a freaking amazing job, and he definitely deserved that.
Amen to that, because I mean, he like I had heard a lot from critics and stuff like before, like going in to see it, it's like saying that Bill Hader is the standout of the movie. How much of a standout he was going to be, I wasn't sure, but I mean, the fact that he overpowered, because like I mean, fucking James McAvoy is in this fucking movie. Like, I mean, like he is phenomenal, and I mean, because like we haven't even talked about Bill yet, but we'll get there. But like, I mean, Richie, Bill Hader as this adult version of Richie, it's like not only has he gone through major character development, but it's like just as the movie progresses, it's like not only does he have great Richie one-liners, but it's like you're right. The end of this movie, like when fucking Eddie dies, like it literally is just like the hardest fucking thing to watch because like he's like holding like his friend and everything, and yeah, it's crazy. It's just such a great performance.
So whenever I watched this last week, I watched it at work because I was like, I know I'm not gonna be able to watch it when I get off of work, so I'm gonna watch it at work. And I've already seen the movie, so it's not something I had to be like fully focused on. But that ending, which my friend had connected her AirPod with mine, so we were both like watching the ending together, and I'm just crying, full on like tears. And my boss was like, "Oh my god, like, are you okay? Like, seriously, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm watching this movie over here." And she's like, "Oh, okay," because I can't. And when Stan's letter, when that plays, oh my god. I listened to it one day at work in the morning, just had it going, and I just had to stop. And I was like, oh, I'm about to cry. I need to change it because it's emotional. This movie,
yeah.
And like Eddie, don't like a character named Eddie because they're gonna fucking die in the end. So, you know, thought I learned my lesson the first time, but I didn't. I thought this time would be different, but it wasn't. But yeah, 2 Eddie characters I love just fucking gone.
So don't get attached to anybody named Eddie in these in
It's
anything
like in
entertainment, in anything horror, or anything intense. Never attach yourself to a character named Eddie. Otherwise, shit might fucking happen. So
you know, from Mean Girls, it's like don't have sex, you will get pregnant and die. That's like don't like a character named Eddie. They will die. They will. Yeah, the ending of this movie really fucked me up. And that's why I can't really watch it that much because I will full on sob because it's just so heartbreaking. And the opening, I mean, like we talked about the intense opening, and then with Stan, which, you know, I knew that was coming. I didn't remember anything about like Eddie going out, so I wasn't prepared for that. But with Stan, I knew it was coming, but still, it fucking hurts my heart. I do wish we saw the bloody it. We didn't get to see that, even though they did film it. There's like pictures of them and like behind the scenes stuff of like him like writing the it with his blood on the wall. I just think that's just such a terrifying image. I wish it was in this movie, but it freaking wasn't.
Yeah.
But the whole opening is that it's upsetting because you know what's coming, and it's like a lot of this with the characters, like, you know it's coming, but you just hope it's different, but, you know, it's not, because that's just not the story. And then, like I said, when we get to Stan's letter, and he's like, you know, I couldn't come back because, like, I just couldn't do it, and I knew, like, if I wasn't there, y'all wouldn't be able to defeat it, like, because y'all have to have everyone there to defeat it, so I had to take myself out. And that's just so sad.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree for sure. What do you call it? Sinister Cinema says, loving those bangs, Destiny.
Thanks. I'm not having a good bang night, not gonna lie. I keep, like, moving them. I'm, like, gonna start crying. It's, like, a weird energy.
And then he also has another good comment, says this movie rules, screw the hatters.
The haters.
I love that.
That's funny.
Love that. That's it. I'm laughing. We are laughing. Carlitos, thank you so much for the super chat. I feel like I'm watching Beauty and the Beast.
Who's who?
Yeah, who's who? I mean, here, do I need to flip my hair back or anything?
Let your hair down. You take off your hat and it's just, like, luscious.
Nope.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah, just got like a ponytail and stuff like that, like in the back.
You got a rat tail, like
yeah.
Bill in the first one.
There we
in
go.
The miniseries.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
What do you call it? I mean, I'm obviously Beauty, so
exactly.
You could, like, we're just gonna do we're gonna do the reverse, like, roll thing. So
yeah, this is the Beast. Clearly.
Yeah. You're looking right at the Beast.
You're looking at it.
What do you call it? I was gonna say something, but I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Mm-hmm. So, you know, let's get into let's talk about Bill here, James McAvoy, because I do think that, I mean, he is another standout for me in this movie. I really do think that the casting in this movie, and I've seen everybody in the chat here, like, you know, just saying, as we all know, that the cast for the adults was fucking spot on. I mean, like, even my favorite piece of marketing that they did for this movie was when they actually posted on Instagram and social media. It was like the posters of the adult characters, but then the balloon came over and it like showed, like, then it showed them as the kids. And I'm like, dude, literally spot on, chef's kiss to the casting director. And, you know, I mean, these were conversations. And actually, if you do watch the Blu-ray, these were conversations that were actually going on during production of It Chapter 1. Like, I mean, they actually had some of these actors visiting the set to meet with the young cast members and everything, which is genius. Like,
the kids had wrote letters to themselves for the older cast to read, to also help them get into character, which I think is really cool and just really sweet.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's almost kind of like having like a mini version of you, just like
they talked about, like, you know, the kids in the first movie, like, they're like, you know, we're nervous because, you know, like, we're in this movie and it's an It movie, and like they're nervous like that people wouldn't like them, and then they're talking about how cool it is for It Chapter 2 that the adults are worried that the audience will like them, and then also the younger kids, because we love these younger kids. They are fucking amazing. So now they have the pressure of, like, we have to do well, because if we don't do well, we're fucked. Which I think, obviously, Eddie, I think, is the best casted looks-wise. The fucking shot of Eddie in the pharmacy, and it, like, transitions, is chef's kiss. It is fucking fantastic. Amazing. And I think Stan, even though we don't get to see a lot of Stan, I think Stan is also, he looks just like his younger self. So I think those two are the best, just off of looks. They look so much alike. It's weird.
Yeah. It's no. I mean, I agree. Like, I think that all of that, I will say that Beverly, I know we talked about this like a little bit, but it's Jessica Chastain. I mean, come on. Like, she plays the role incredibly well, but I know Amy Adams was like being looked at for that role. I mean, like, and I do think that she actually does look more like, if you look at the eyes, she definitely, even just like the structure of the face, she definitely has more of that structure. But Jessica Chastain, I mean, she is still amazing in this movie. And I
Absolutely.
mean, and the adult version of Ben too. Like, I mean, just like you can't go wrong with any of them. Like, you really can't.
Adult
Like,
Ben is fine
yeah,
as fuck.
I mean, like you can't go wrong or really hate on the way that they look in this movie because they all look like they could have. It just genuinely looks like they're related.
Yeah,
Like,
it really
so,
does. Also, Henry, wow,
yeah, big.
looks not good. Which they
No,
made him look not good. Like the
yeah,
actor in real life doesn't really look like that, but he does not look good, and as he should. He doesn't need to look good because he is a piece of shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they all look pretty great. They all look, you know. You know what I learned the other day on TikTok?
What?
So the guy that plays young Henry, he is an Australian actor, which I did not know he was Australian. So that was pretty cool. But did you know that he does not get paid royalties from the U.S. for it?
Did what?
He doesn't get paid royalties from the U.S.
Really?
for it. Yeah. Yeah. He was talking about that because he said, for one, you know, because he's Australian and he's flying out from Australia to Canada, they already have to like have someone come in from overseas to come film the movie. And so like he said something about like he must, or his like manager or whatever, they didn't like discuss royalties, and also if he would have tried to put up any sort of fight, he probably wouldn't have been casted in the movie already, because it's kind of like he's an Australian actor coming all the way to Canada to film it. And yeah, he doesn't get paid royalties from the US. He was talking about that. He's like, you know, I've never said this before, but, and then he was like talking about it. I was like, damn, that sucks. You're in a huge fucking movie.
That's bullshit.
That mean a lot of money. And you don't.
I wonder if he's going to get paid royalties, because there's actually, I don't know if you saw, so kind of like Halloween Horror Nights, Warner Brothers has this theme park over in Australia called Movie World. And it's got like roller coasters and stuff. But this year they have like the Fright Nights. That's what it's called. And I just saw this. I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw this. And I was like, so this year their main haunted houses are It. They have an It haunted house. They have a Conjuring haunted house. They have a Zombieland Double Tap haunted house. So because it's called Warner Brothers Movie World, and it's in Australia. I'm like, why the fuck do we not have one of these in the United States? Like,
that sounds really cool,
right? Like, that's what I mean. Like, so it makes me wonder, like, if the property is over in Australia, does he get like that? Okay, that makes no sense to me, because this is like a global movie. So it's like he gets like, he doesn't get U.S. property, like he doesn't get U.S. royalty.
That's what he said.
There's got to be some sort of like nitty gritty as to how that sorts out, because the movie was released globally, so it was released all over the world. So he just doesn't get it from the United States. That's insane.
If I find the TikTok, I'll send it to you.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways,
that's insane. Like,
what are some of your favorite moments of the movie? Because we're already at 50 minutes.
Holy shit, we are.
I know. we've like, here's the movie, and we've just
like we've dipped into like the characters and like, you know, okay, well, first thing I can think of is easily the softball scene or the baseball scene, like with the little girl. Love that scene, like when she like sees all the fireflies and she follows them under. Like, kids, don't, like, all you parents out there, watch your kids. Don't let them go chase. Don't let them go chasing fire. And just in general, watch your kids. Like, it's a scary ass world out here. Period. Yeah. So, you know, but don't let them go chase after fireflies at a baseball
Even though I
game.
do love fireflies.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I used to chase after them all the time, but yeah, I feel like the world was less scary when we were kids.
We were just unaware of how scary it was.
Yeah, probably.
But this isn't no ordinary firefly. This is a Pennywise firefly. Because that was not just a regular one.
Yeah,
that lures are down there, and that scene is really like tense too, because you know they're counting down for, or are they counting up or down? I think they're counting up. Yeah, just like 1, 2.
Yeah. He's like
you're supposed to say 3.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm always awful at timing with your setups. So I'll get better at it.
It's okay.
That's gonna be on my yearly goals, is to get better at the timing. As to when I should be continuing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like he's down there and like he's saying I can, because she has the thing on her face, so he's saying that he can. Yeah, he's like, I can blow that away.
Blow it away.
Like, you know, and I know it's I don't know why I'm so good at doing like the voice. Like it's like I sit there and practice in the mirror. I'm like, one. Hey.
I can't do it. I've tried so many times.
Two.
See?
Yeah, and then and I don't even think he says 3. I think
he doesn't.
Yeah,
because
and
that's
like,
when she's like, "You're supposed to say 3," and then
literally,
he's like,
and then her whole head just goes in his fucking mouth. I didn't know. I mean, the movie's rated R. I wasn't sure if they were like actually gonna show it, but no, fucking whole mouth just right over the fucking head. Like,
yeah,
like
because like, you know, we see Georgie get his arm bitten off, or we really see the after effects of it. We see him like biting down, but we don't actually see Georgie being fucking demolished.
Yeah,
but
like
with her, we fully see.
Yeah, you do see the arm like get pulled. Like it's the way it's shot. It's like you see the bite
him,
down, then you see him fall back, and then you just see the arm go into the sewer. Like it's not like a close up on it, but you can see it like, you know, fall, and then he's like crawling, and boom, gets pulled in. But yeah, here you see the whole fucking thing.
It's a good scene. It's a good scene. I know Brandon brought up my favorite scene, which is in the bathroom stall, which I did talk about on our first episode. He's talking about like their embrace after everything. But my favorite scene is the scene in the bathroom stall whenever Ben is being drowned by blood and Ben's sinking into like their clubhouse. He's sinking into the dirt, and then he's like reading the poem out to her, and then she kicks down the door, and when it fucking here's Bev, and it like goes like this,
Yeah.
and they're like this now. Absolutely insane. I remember in the theater, I was like, holy shit, that is the best moment in my opinion, because the way it's shot, the blood effects, it's powerful. Finally she knows who like actually wrote it, and he's finally confessing, you know, like his love for her. And I think that scene is absolutely amazing. I love that scene.
I agree. I think that scene's awesome. There's also a little Shining reference in there, like when he's like, "Here's Johnny."
Here's Johnny. Everyone, all the shitty people are like popping in and out. It's great. Another one of my favorite scenes. This is my second favorite because, again, in the theater, I'm so happy I saw this movie in the theater. I'm so happy. And it's when Richie is confronting Pennywise. It's like, "You want to play Truth or Dare?" Or like, "Here's the truth. You're a sloppy bitch."
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother. It went, oh my God. When the music, like the bass kicks in and his eyes roll back and he drops the rock and his legs, like everything in his body's gone whole. I've watched that scene so many times, and each time I'm like, that right there, that is some good shit. And I've seen a tattoo someone got of Richie's eyes. It is one of my favorite tattoos ever. It is so fucking good. I wish I thought of it first because I would love to get it.
Mm-hmm.
But that scene is definitely my second favorite. Just everything about that part, it's absolutely fucking amazing. The way his body just drops and he's just standing there with nothing. Incredible.
I will say, I think everything with Pennywise in this movie is pretty much like it's like my favorite stuff. Like, I mean, there is actually a shot from the trailer that I wish was in the movie. And it's like when someone's looking up at a building and he's like jumping up on the like he's like on the side of the building, but he's like jumping. And that's not in this movie. And I'm like, I wonder what that scene is. Like, I actually really wanted to see that. Like,
maybe it was in the scene with Richie. You know, when he's like floating down with the balloons.
No, because like that was also in the trailer. Mm-hmm. It's like on the side of like a brick building, and someone's like looking up, and he's just like literally he's just standing on the side, like he's like walking on the side of the building, and he's like jumping on it. Like if you go back and watch the trailer, you'll see like what I mean. But like, yeah, I love the balloon scene like with Richie. Like
oh my god,
that. Hold on. getting a call. Sorry.
I can tell.
Fucking dude, Zach. It's Zach too. He should have
How
notifications.
fucking is he?
Literally, he should have notifications.
You know, I will say,
Go. Here, I'll
Richie
mute
with his
myself. Go ahead.
flashback scene in the arcade, I never, from the first movie, which, you know, you can compare this to Stranger Things with Will and Mike, you know, I never picked up on, what the fuck is that? There's like fuzz in my eye. I never picked up on like any feelings between Eddie and Richie in that way. I always just thought they were like, you know, bantering because they're friends and stuff. But dude, as soon as we were in that arcade scene and he's talking to, which is Henry's fucking cousin, as soon as we got to that scene, I was like, it just hit me. Before they even started talking, I was like, oh my God. How did I not see that? Which I don't think it was really there that much in the first movie. With Stranger Things, I feel like it's pretty much, maybe not so much in season 1 because you don't really get to see Mike and Will interact. With season 2 and on, you know it's there. It's there. But with It Chapter 1, I never picked up on anything like that. But as soon as we got into the arcade, it hit me. And I was like, oh my God. And then, of course, you know, they're calling him all kinds of slurs, saying, you know, he's gay, basically.
Yeah.
But I was just like, holy shit. I just remember that feeling in the theaters, be like, oh, how did I not know? But that scene with Pennywise, you know, coming down, he's like, I know your secret, your dirty little secret, which just makes me think of All American Rejects. But I think that scene is also amazing. The log guy, I don't really care. He has a weird like looking mouth. It's digital. Don't really care for that. But everything else in that scene, I thought was really good.
No,
And,
I mean, go ahead.
Sorry. Everyone behind him, you could see they're like swaying back and forth, which I didn't pick up the first few times. The last time I watched it, I was like, holy shit, I never noticed. Behind Richie, you could see everyone like doing this. I'm like, that's fucking scary.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole scene was just absolutely awesome. But Brandon says that was actually Mike's token scene when Pennywise is on the wall. Apparently it was cut. So he said for some reason it was cut.
I mean, yeah, I can see maybe why it's cut because Mike has always been there. And maybe that's why they cut it. I would still like that, though, because I feel like we don't get enough Mike in the first movie. We get Mike a lot more in this movie because he's the one bringing everyone back and, like, explaining, like, what's going on and stuff. But I still wish we would have got more Mike. I feel like he was still not used enough. But he gets a happy ending, which I do love.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree to that. And that would make sense, right? Because, like, Mike is, like... he works in between those two buildings, right? So that does make sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Mia said, so this is going back to the conversation from earlier. I swear to God, I'm gonna beat the shit out of my phone. I don't know how to do this. I can't. I don't know how to get it. I don't know how to get it off of my desktop. I'm deleting this thing. I'm not fucking doing this anymore. I'm deleting the app. Hold on. Let me try and. There, I just removed it from the desktop. So I just trashed it.
58 minutes in. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, what the? How am I still getting these notifications? Hold on. Let me mute this really quick. Anyway, Mia says that Disney and Marvel own everything. I'm going to look and see when Riley is typing, and when she's getting ready to respond, I shall mute it. So I don't know why that's happening. I don't know how to do this, but I will figure it out, and next week we will not have this problem. I assure you that. So, yeah, let me go ahead and hide this. Sorry, audience. Sorry, people. I apologize for those annoying ass dings. I just trashed the desktop thing, and it's still there. So I don't know what's going on, but you know. Sorry, Destiny.
Anyways, back to the movie.
Yeah, back to the movie. Go ahead. What were we talking about again?
I don't fucking know.
Other than it's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Mike gets a happy ending and he finally leaves Derry.
Mike gets a happy ending and he finally leaves Derry. There you go. That's what happens. And I'm glad that he got a good ending. I'm glad that we got an epic ending, I should say. I thought that everything at the end of the movie was quite entertaining and quite good. Yeah, I'm just like nervous for like this ding to come through again, because if it happens again, I feel like you're gonna freak out. You're like, you've got that smile on your face. You're like, Braden, let it happen one more time, please. Just allow
One thing
it.
about me, I do not like noise. I don't. The sound of a phone going off makes me want to pull my skin off. I don't like it.
Do it right now.
Well, if it does it again, I might.
Then this stream is going to be Brett, man, I'm freaking trying. It's not coming from my phone. It's coming.
There still should be a way though.
It
to,
is
like,
coming from my desktop. That's where. Okay, you know what? Let me see here.
Why are you?
No. Okay,
What's the point now?
I'm not doing it right now. I'm not doing it right now.
Okay.
I'm just making sure it doesn't go. Just making sure it doesn't go off again. Like I'm. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Eddie dies in the end. We get a heartbreaking moment when they're back in the Barrens and they're swimming in the water and they're cleaning themselves off after everything. And Richie's over there crying, and it makes me sad. And then we get to see Richie carving the R and the E on the wood, which again makes me very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't even get to tell him that freaking loved him. This is bullshit.
Didn't even get to tell him. But you know what? We know that he loved him.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Very sad.
Mia says the ending is literally the same ending of Labyrinth.
I haven't seen Labyrinth.
I've never seen Labyrinth
I told you
either.
that.
I've never seen Labyrinth either. Thanks for ruining that, Mia.
Damn, Mia.
Someone get her out of here. In fact, I'm blocking her.
I'll put you if you blocked Mia.
No.
I am watching it in October, though. It's on my October movie watch list because I haven't seen it. I know I need to, and I thought October would be the perfect time to watch it.
So is Labyrinth, is it Pete's Labyrinth or is it something else?
I don't know. I know it has David Bowie.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's just called Labyrinth or not, but I do.
Because I know there's a Labyrinth with like this, which I've also not seen, but I think this is a different Labyrinth. But I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know anything.
Well, interesting. I will have to give it some sort of watch. So, it's just the Labyrinth. Okay. Cool. Good to know. Well, then I will be able to compare it. And it is horror, right? That's horror.
I think it's like fantasy horror-ish, but I think it's like fantasy.
Okay.
But that's different. I think that's also fantasy. I don't know.
Cool. And apparently Scott Derrickson, I love Scott Derrickson as a filmmaker. Apparently he has a new Labyrinth movie coming also.
Interesting.
That is interesting. Okay, not really horror. Denise says, is anyone excited about the Pearl movie? I am. Seeing it this weekend. I'm freaking ready.
I should be going tomorrow. Very excited.
Tomorrow.
Dang. Yeah. This is my most anticipated movie now. After X, it was Pearl. So.
Well, I'm excited. This is definitely, it's up there now that I've seen X. I could be excited for it. Then we got Halloween Ends and everything coming next month. It's like, before Halloween Ends, we have Terrifier 2. Horror fans are just eating good this next month. So, Scarlett, I hope I was able to make this even one better because I pulled up your comment. So a live stream and I'm here. Life is great. And we are glad to have you here. So thank you so much for being here. Goodreal actually says Pearl review next week. Then we actually don't have anything set for next week, so why don't we just do that?
Yeah, gotta make sure I actually go see it, which I
Yeah.
am. I'm
So yeah, okay. See it this weekend. I will see it this weekend. We will have a Pearl stream then next week. So, which I'm excited for. I'm definitely excited to see it. So,
Me too.
yeah, let's close out our thoughts here on and no spoilers. What I don't ever spoil anything unless it's a spoiler review. Destiny, what do I spoil?
I don't know.
Nothing. I've never spoiled
Yourself
anything.
with the Halloween soundtrack?
Okay. Whatever. You spoil yourself all the time. I don't even want to hear it.
I do. And I'm proud.
Exactly. You know, I don't care because I can't picture the scenes if I haven't seen the movie. I could just hear the music.
Don't care.
I'm getting frustrated right now. So
You.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
Do not fucking make fun of my laugh.
Yeah, I'm making fun.
Ever.
I am making fun of your laugh though. So, you know.
Like my forehead itch.
Okay, what's your closing thoughts on It Chapter 2?
Love it. I think it's great. Weird CGI, not the best pacing.
Carly, Destiny, if you need help, blink twice.
I'm being held hostage here.
Yeah, she's actually in the other room.
I was about to say, he's just down the hall.
She's actually being forced here. Like, see, her background is easy to just carry. You could bring that anywhere. So.
Literally. Yeah, I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's an absolutely outstanding movie. It's got its issues, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun and it's got a good story behind it. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I told you before, when you say at the end of the day, I think of the TikTok. But at the end of the day, it's not that funny, is it?
And
you're on your phone.
I kind of find it funny.
At the end of the day.
I'm not even on my freaking phone. Like, what are you freaking talking about?
We have to go back to 7 p.m.
What do you mean
we gotta
have
get
to go
off
back
work
to
early?
7 p.m.? Well, I hate to break it to you, but I can't do that.
Damn, I tried.
Yeah, I know. Good try, but well, no. Actually, Wednesdays I'm going to be working remotely, so we could actually go back to. We could if I don't have any meetings, but the odds of that is quite low. Unfortunately. So, yeah. But yeah, guys, I really enjoy It Chapter 2, so I want to go through some quick housekeeping things here. We obviously found out that next week we are going to be talking about Pearl, which is Ty West's new movie. Also, found out that he's got another one in the X universe coming called Maxine with Mia Goth back again.
Of course.
So they just love working together. I see that. Then we got and this is actually going to be a follow-up to X, so it's actually going to be a sequel. So this is a prequel, and she's playing the other character. She's playing the villain of the movie, and now Maxine is going to be her main character from X. And yeah, it sounds pretty interesting.
Set in the 80s.
What's that?
Set in the 80s.
Set in the 80s in Los Angeles.
In Los
so I'm
Angeles.
definitely excited to see what they are going to be doing with that. It's not in production yet, but I know A24 is ramping some shit up with that. Sally movie is currently crowdfunding on Indiegogo. We are currently we're at like 47% right now funded. We're trying to get to 50% by the end of the week. If you guys can help us, we literally, I think now need just under $100 or something like that. Maybe like 104 or maybe just over like $104. So if you guys can help us, please do it. We got Blu-rays, producer credits, all that shenanigans. Help us with whatever you guys can. Just to be that guy, I'm going to copy the link and put it in the chat. So we're at $1,644. We need $1,750 to. So yeah, like we're at $106 that we need to get to hit our goal. So I just pasted the link in the chat. Anybody that can help us by Friday, it would be greatly appreciated. So, we appreciate all of you and all of your support. But Destiny, what do you have coming up this week?
Tomorrow, I'll be on Matt's channel. Hopefully, if I make it in time, because I will be seeing Pearl. So I'm trying to get back home and jump on as long as I can for that stream. Mm-hmm. Sunday, we have Back from the Dead. 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And yeah, Beer Freaks next week.
Woo! Sounds good. With me, I've got my we've come to that week, everybody. Halloween Resurrection. So yeah, review this week. Let's fucking get it. Resurrection. I gotta finish that movie tonight. Actually, I'm gonna go grab dinner and come back upstairs and finish that movie. So,
hell yeah.
Basically, what I'm doing, debating if I want to do a breakdown for that new TV spot that came out for Halloween Ends, but we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling tonight. Like that's the only way I'm gonna do it is if I'm feeling okay to do it. But yeah, I actually also tried to pull up the new TV spot we just had for Sally, but I can't upload it to here because it's not an MP3 file. So that sucks. That's what I was going to play at the end so people can see it that don't know what it is yet, but.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That is right. On Tuesday, I will be on Flopbuster's channel talking about one of my favorite horror movies.
Ooh, what's one of your favorite horror movies? Fuck, I feel like I'm like Bill from It. I'm like stuttering.
It's Jennifer's Body. I will be talking about Jennifer's Body with Flopbuster, which I'm really excited to do because I love Jennifer's Body. So,
heck yeah, I know you do. I know.
I don't know
we've never talked directly about that on this channel. We've talked about horror hotties and Jennifer's Body. We did that for your birthday last year. But what do you call it? Yeah, we've never actually talked about that on this channel. But so next week is Pearl. We got to find something, I think, for the last week of September, and then we'll be into our October streams. So, which we do have our entire month lined up for October already. So, yeah. So yeah, definitely some really fun and exciting stuff up and coming here, not only on Fear Freaks, but just with, Catch Destiny on all these other channels. Follow her and I on social media. We post like what we're doing, what we got up and coming, and all that kind of good shenanigans. So, yeah, thank you guys so much as always for watching. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your guys' week. And as always, guys, we are now in the 9,900 something range here on this channel. So we're less than 100 subscribers away from that big 10K. So if you guys like this, don't forget to join this channel on its journey to 10,000 subscribers. And we will see you guys next week on Fear Freaks. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your week, and cheers.
Good night.